So, yeah.
Oh, this was a dark one.
Mike, go ahead.
Okay, so episode 19.
No, 18.
I'm sorry, 18. Life and death decisions or ambivalence. Unit 3, being transported from the United States to Japan via airplane, flies through a microscopic angel disguised as an odd cloud, infecting Unit 3. Gee. I wonder why. I wonder how. During Toji's first sync test, Unit 3 goes berserk and mutates into the angel Bardiel. Possessing both the power of an angel and the form of an Evangelion, Unit 3 destroys the test facility and advances towards Tokyo 3. All three Evas are sortied against Bardiel, but the angel rapidly defeats both Unit 2 and Unit 0. Although Shinji does not know that Toji is trapped inside Bardiel, he refuses to use Unit 1 to attack it, wanting to try to save the pilot. As Unit 3 attacks Unit 1, Gendo orders that Shinji be cut from control of Unit 1 and that Unit 1's dummy plug autopilot system be activated. Under the control of the dummy plug, Unit 1 savagely attacks Bardiel, tearing the possessed Evangelion to shreds and crushing its entry plug. After the battle, the already emotionally devastated Shinji is even more horrified as he sees Toji being taken from the wreckage of the entry plug. Fuck Gendo. Just fuck him.
It's time for another weekly adventure of Gendo being the worst dad in anime. Holy cow, this is him at his worst.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He does not give two shits about humanity.
Nope.
As
long as Unit... hold on, guys. Hold on.
No. Unit 1 is important.
Unit 1 is important.
So, we have yet another angel that does something that that will never be replicated or duplicated. And, like I just said, do not hold the Eva outside the plane. This is what happens. Angels turn into like this weird parasitic fungus and takes over the unit. But whatever, I'm just a human. Whatever.
Symbolism and plot is more needed than smart decisions.
Ah, gosh. And really, like, what was stopping everyone? Like, what was stopping Asuka from saying, "Oh yeah, it's Toji"?
Like, plot.
Wait, but
when I try to protect his feelings.
Because you already, like, after all this, he's now more mentally scarred than ever. So
yeah, the thing is, I think what the overall plan, and I get it, is that Shinji damn near killed his sister in an Eva attack.
Yeah.
So he's gonna be like, I'm not gonna be held responsible of throwing Toji into angel attacks where he could die if I fucked up again. So
yeah,
basically, I think what they're trying to avoid is that he would just quit if he found out that Toji was a pilot.
Well, guess what's going to happen next
in
episode?
The next episode!
He would like at least if you told Shinji beforehand, all of this probably could have, or at least the dummy plug thing would have been avoided, because it's like, yes, Shinji would have been like, oh no, I don't want a pilot to hurt my friend. But then it's like, but now he's more scarred than he already is. All these kids are just screwed up. Okay, like Gendo, whatever.
Yeah, let's remind the audience one more time that apparently these Evas must be piloted by 14-year-old children because the Eva Unit 1 is important.
Plot. Yes, hold on. Unit 1 is important.
No, well, first off, it's kind of interesting to see an Angel approach of just like, let's just be a parasitic fungus because the hacking didn't work, so let's go more direct. And I think this is the first time. Yeah, so this is the first time I think in the show where they basically had to fight another Ava unit. And even though it was probably part of the parasitic ability of this Angel, it would have been kind of cool if just like, let's just give this Ava unit giant stretchy plastic man arms. Just
yeah.
That was kind of cool though, giving like seeing the arms kind of stretching out and like just going to town on the other Avas.
And have the quickest reflexes of any Ava ever.
Yeah. And it also has the return of Brock's favorite thing, the Ava roar.
Yeah, it was evil and I love it. It's so good. It's so good.
It is. No, it's a good, like, despite all of us bickering about Gendo being the worst, maybe we should put a little flashing thing on the bottom. Gendo's the worst.
I'll have more ready for next time.
But anyway, I did like the episode, but it was just like, I don't think the drama was well told, or at least that's the whole mystery, because, gee, I wonder who the pilot was. It's not like they kept focusing on him in the last episode. But whatever.
Yeah, this is a very heavy episode for many reasons, but I do appreciate that we still had some moments of levity. Like, Shinji doesn't understand how women work, and also the part where Asuka is just mortified that some woman would be attracted to a kind person.
I do have to say though, Asuka's dialogue is kind of starting to get repetitive.
Like, really?
Well, I mean, a little repetitive, and there's no way this was a meta joke that Ava Unit 2 got taken down first, so they could just take Asuka out of the picture. But I don't know.
I hope that was the case.
No, well, first off, I do love that they just introduced, like, oh yeah, you can have a bazooka now, but apparently that wasn't useful enough because Unit 3 went berserk and like, whatever.
Let's not drop 992 N2 mines on that thing. No.
So did the Angel cause the explosion within like the factory or wherever they were trying out the sync test? Or...
I gotta remember if
they
even explain why that happens.
Because they freaked out, and I would have understood if they said, like, let's just set off an N2 mine under Unit 3 because we quickly found out that an Angel possessed it, and because they had that cross explosion, but it wasn't like the self-destruct thing. So
yeah, the thing with that is that I would, man, if it was something that specific to where we're gonna set off an N2 mine underneath it because we found out that one was possessed, you would have to think that they wouldn't be as shocked when it happened with this one.
I mean, like, and this one was a gory episode. Just like,
yeah,
even the Ava wiki has like the moment when Unit 1's hand goes right through Unit 3's head, and you can see the eyeball and the jaw. Oh god, yeah.
One solid punch.
This one got brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just getting torn apart. Like, oh gosh.
Yeah. So the dummy plug that's supposed to be Ray is the most vicious of the three of them.
Yeah, we finally find out what happens. Okay,
Yeah.
Judge. No.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. No, we find out a little more about what exactly the dummy plug does, and gee, I wonder how Ray actually feels. No. Oh, lordy.
Yeah.
Just so the audience is clear, the dummy plug is basically controlled berserk mode.
Yeah.
Well, I say controlled in loose terms.
Yeah.
Well,
it's a berserk mode with a button.
Yeah. Well, they were able to control it if Unit 1 was able to stop. I mean, granted, after almost killing Toji, but
Yeah.
Still. Oh god, and Gendo's smile. He's like, this is exactly what I want. So basically, he just wants controlled berserkers, which
Yeah.
I can't see that backfiring anyway. But whatever.
Yeah.
We'll
At
see.
this point, when I watched the show, I was kind of like, again, I watched it at a young age, and then again as a teenager, and then now I'm watching it now. Each time I was just kind of like, man, at this point, you should have had just episodes upon episodes of going, we're still sticking 13-year-olds in these, even though we just have a button that kills the thing. Oh, wait, because it's just Berserk and there's no thought behind it, and then we couldn't have a show anymore.
I mean, they technically could if they just watched an episode of Gigantor or Tetsujin 28 where you just have like a little remote control airplane controller. But
True.
Whatever. And keep them out of trouble.
Yeah. Mike, were you expecting it to get that vicious right away when the dummy plug was activated?
I wasn't sure what to expect with the dummy plug. But knowing Gendo, it couldn't have gone smoothly. Something had to have gone wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's like I could complain about some of this episode, but it's also like I'm so drained by it. Like it was a lot. And it's just like Toji just kind of letting it sit in that he's going to be a pilot, and then this happens, and then Shinji's reaction at the end. Again, though, just kudos to let me look up their Shinji's voice actor, Casey Mongilo. Their performance as Shinji is just really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like there were some good ones, but okay, so how did Misato survive?
And how was she slightly worse off than Ritsuko?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like, don't worry, she was better off than you, but she's not around.
Yeah, where did she go?
It's just like we're not subtle with things being weird, and it's just like Goju is just right there right away.
No, it was a good episode, dark, and I know like I said, I say I'm going into the unknown with the rest of this show, but I remember bits and pieces, and I know exactly what's happening next.
Yep.
So it's like, Mike, we're not gonna let's just say the tone's gonna stay afloat as we are now. So,
So it's just gonna get darker from here,
or at least stay the same.
It's gonna stay the same, and then it's gonna dip because again, if I told no one what the show was and then I explained to them how the show ends, I don't know what the reaction would be.
No,
I've told people the ending, and then they'd be like, "I'd still like to watch the show to see how it gets there." I'm like, "You're not gonna know how it gets there." But man, I commend you for thinking ahead. I still want you to watch it because it's good, but
it's like I mean, like you could say it's like, oh, it's a slightly more different take of the super robot genre, but it's like it's not really clear how different it's going to be. Like just with everything that it drops about like what exactly the Avas are, exactly what's hiding behind Nerve, what exactly Gendo's plan is, and just everything.
Yeah. I've told Mike ad nauseum of one of the main reasons why I like Gurren, but let's reset the clock. And Brock mentioned Gurren again. But like ad nauseum, I've said why the main reasons, like I like the cool mech fights and all that, but it's a good example of my favorite type of a mech show where the mechs are just there, but the real plot devices and stuff driving the show are not them.
Yeah.
That's just kind of the thing that gets the people to still watch parts of it for like the action part outside of the plot that is like 70% of the show outside of where the mech fights are. It's like this, Darling, and Gurren. And this is another one of those, like, again, the Avas are there, to be the Avas. And like this is a situation where it's even more the Avas are basically a plot device that happen to fight every now and then. So this is like 90% plot and then 10% the Avas just happen to be there. So it's a more example of that. And I wish more things did it this way, where you kind of have the plot and then you've got the cool thing in the background, but you really get invested in the people that are actually behind these things versus some, like, again, I will mention, if you don't like politics, you are not going to like Gundam because it's 99.9% of them. And then the fights are cool. And then you could interchange what the pilots are for the most case. Like some of them are pretty good, full-blooded orphans or space Africa, as some people like to call it. But iron-blooded orphans. I said that incompletely. I was thinking of Full Metal Alchemist, but yeah, there's just
Well, Gundam invented the whole like, let's shove kids into robots and let them fight the wars that we made because we can't get along.
Yeah,
Gundam like kind of popularized the more like story based mecha shows.
Yeah.
And then Ava comes along and it's like, we're gonna take that up to 11.
Yeah, no,
we're gonna bust the knob off.
It's like there's two ranges of giant robot shows. You got your Go Nagai, like Mazinger Z, just kind of goofy but fun, more kind of about like let's just fight a bunch of goofy robots and monsters and like cool robots and such that could do 100 million things. Don't ask how. Then you have Evangelion, which is more, or Gundam, which is more about the world building, the character dynamics, and less about the robot fights. And then you get something in between, like Die Guard. I will set the counter back. I said Die Guard.
You mentioned Die Guard. There we go. We're gonna have something like counters.
I feel like somewhere down the line, maybe after Darling in the Franxx and a couple other shows, we should do Die Guard.
Oh yes,
if we can find it. If we can find it first.
Oh, I think you can find it. I mean, like I can easily. I can find it through illicit means and other ways.
Is it on one of the two major services?
I think it's on like.
It's on Amazon Prime.
It's on Amazon Prime, and
okay.
It's also one of those like niche old retro anime streaming sites. So like the legal ones. I mean, like
I get you.
No,
Like I said, with these guys, we're gonna do Darling, and then we're gonna hit the brakes pretty hard on mech animes because that is my bread and butter. And then I'm seeing a lot of Cameron's as well. I just don't want the whole thing to be that. So there's gonna be a lot of me just picking shows that are kind of like just letting you know. There's like, oh, I won't say that. I won't say that online because I'm not gonna make commitments like that. Damn it, I'm not putting it to the camera. But yeah, there's gonna be some stuff you're not gonna be seeing giant robots. It's just gonna be people.
Yeah, no, I'll have to bring like some of my films along or something to like get us a little cleansing palette.
Yes, absolutely. But
anyway, let's get back to
the episode, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Not much else to say. We kind of explained everything. The angel taking the parasite angel, and then the dummy plug, the berserk, the goriness, and just how really just bummed I am.
One cool thing that I did like is it shows Toji as a character. They did ask that he's like, if I'm going to do this, you're going to get my sister better medical care because it's your fucking fault.
Yeah.
That's one of the positive aspects of Toji that I like.
Yes.
No, they're finally branching out into the other characters. Still not a fan of Kinsuke, but he's not in this episode a whole lot. So
yeah, he's a little different. He's fine.
No, and I'm kind of curious to see how Hikari deals with this because it's like this is a lot to deal with. But yeah. No, we'll just have to see what happens next time.
I have one quick question about this episode. I remember around the time that the Netflix dub was released, there was some controversy over a line of dialogue that got changed. I can't remember if it was from this episode or episode 19.
I think it's episode 9. I think it's episode 19.
Okay.
It's either there, but I also think it's a little down the line, actually. So, because I think if I can remember the little scraps of Evangelion that I remember from when I watched it, it's not with a character like Toji and whatnot. It's with an entirely different character that we haven't even seen yet. Can't say anything about it.
Okay,
it is 100. Is with a 100% new character. That is true.
Yeah. So,
Absolutely.
I forgot when exactly this character pops up. So I don't know if it's next episode, though. I do know my favorite angel pops up in this next episode. So.
Only reason why I asked is because I remember that being like one of the big controversies surrounding the dub.
Basically, for anyone who kind of forgot or doesn't remember, it basically changed the context of a line for the relationship between two characters, and I basically did I guess let's call it a Sailor Moon, when Deke owned it and said, "Oh yeah, they're cousins." Sure.
Well, the weird thing with how they did it and how, because I've seen both lines. Like I saw the two scenes next to each other, and the people that rewrote the script explained it. It's very direct in the first scene of how it's being dealt with, and then in the second version of it, they leave it more open-ended to where Shinji's not even sure about what he thinks when he says this line. And they kind of the people that don't like it refer to it kind of as cowardice to not put Shinji in a situation where he said a certain thing. And I kind of agree with what the dub changing is. Dislike it or not, everyone's open to their opinions. But when we get there, he explained that the way that they had changed Shinji to say it makes you wonder how Shinji feels about it, and it leaves you to put more thought on it versus, again, having the subtlety sledgehammer get smacked down. So the actual context about what he says, at least from what I read of it, doesn't change. It's just
so it's like executed differently.
The percentage of how absolute the statement is changed.
It's
the same exact statement. It's just how on the nose he was with it.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
Because that's all I remember. It's like people were saying, like it's like, oh god, it's a Sailor Moon thing again, where they're saying they're cousins when they're not.
Yeah. Oh no! If from what I remember correctly, it is not that. It is not one of those. Because for people that don't know, we're gonna have a quick aside here about how, oh boy, did that dub get fucked up. And in the original dub of Sailor Moon, I can't remember which two of the Sailor Scouts it is.
It wasn't the main five. It was like the two that would come in from time to time to help.
Yeah, they were lesbians in the Japanese cut. In the American dub, they call them cousins. But there are certain scenes where they don't change their lines. So it sounds really creepy and insanely incestuous.
You just hear the Alabama banjo playing.
Oh, it's one of the biggest. Just like look up the comparisons with the lines with certain things. It's one of the how did no one think of this? How?
And it's not even like a 4-kid situation where they're like, okay, they knew exactly what they were saying with that dub. This was just like, this is the 90s. We're not really that progressive yet, or you can argue even now, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, there's also moments like where Sailor Moon is just messed up, where it is fully stated that Chibi Moon fucks a horse.
I'm sorry, what?
Oh, well, that's another time for.
Have some fun and Google that one.
Yeah, no, the Sailor Moon dub history is fascinating. Anyway,
I can't believe I actually recorded myself talking about that. Oh boy, I'm not editing that out. I don't care. I know two people that are going to be really happy that I brought that up.
Alrighty. So, Mike, how's the ride going?
Turbulence. Lots of fucking turbulence.
Get ready for it to just jump out of the fucking plane coming up real quick. Oh, god damn it. We actually got to talk about Sailor Moon. All right, yeah. Cameron, let's get the fuck out of here. Where can people find you? Oh, wrong one. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm losing control.
What Bariel possessed your computer? No.
You did.
Okay, so my Twitter is at twitter.com/CamsEyeView. My website's called camseyeView.biz, where I review animated films from around the world called The Other Side of Animation. I co-host the Renegade Animation podcast on renegadepopculture.com. I also have a Patreon at patreon.com/CamsEyeView. That's where you can find me.
All right. And Mike, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at CaptainK42. Check out all my quick thought reviews on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. Find me in all the various Facebook groups, just at my name. You can check out Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Twitter at Ren Pop Culture. All of our podcasts, including Renegade Animation, can be found on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. And everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. Need an escape? So do we.
Yes, we need an escape from me talking about Sailor Moon because that is enough of that for one day. Okay, you can find me everywhere at Organoid Zero. Hopefully I'll have my head on my ass and be streaming a lot more by this time comes around because there'll be more games. So, and on this YouTube channel, got just the normal branch of stuff, fresh takes, a new show that stuff will be coming up of, which is basically the same format, but be making fun of stuff a lot more. That'll be the main point. So we'll get to that when it gets to there. And yeah, we are grabbing close to the last episodes here, which is kind of crazy. We have 2 of these series under the belt. That's gonna be kind of nuts. But yeah, we will see you all next time.